Hello, I'm Drunkard Ninja, and this is my walkthrough for Valkyria Chronicles Chapter 13, The Clash at Naggiar. This mission's kind of a two-parter. There's an objective base you have to capture before gaining access to the enemy HQ, and then once you capture that, that's when the mission actually ends. Like the one where Welkin and Alicia were separated from Squad 7, you don't have the tank, the Edelweiss, at the start. He's off doing something else, and then once you capture that first objective, that's when he shows up, and then you can use the tank and orders and such. So up until that point, we won't have access to orders. In this mission, I'm going to show you how to beat it in 3 turns. That's achieving an A rank, and we're going to collect the ace weapon along the way. As usual, we'll start with an overview of the map. I've set this map up a little different. Like I said, this is the first objective. This is the end objective HQ. Like I said, the tanks aren't here, and neither is Selvaria. This is Selvaria, the Valkyria. They show up once you capture this first objective. That's why I've highlighted them in yellow. So for the first 2 turns, or really turn and a half, they're not going to be present. For this mission, you're going to need 3 scouts. One of them being Alicia for the extra command point, and then you're going to want Rosie again for the command point and to defend your HQ, because sometimes this scout tries to sneak in and capture it, and then Largo over here by himself for the extra command point as well. So the first turn we're going to use all of our movement to set ourselves up for the second turn. First we're going to take one of the scouts, and we're going to head this direction, kill this scout, wander over here, get to about here. Second turn, we're going to get around this corner. Oh, and I didn't get it in the picture. There's a shock trooper sitting right here. We'll take that guy out, position ourselves here, and then we're going to use our Rand Greaser to take out this Gatling cannon. It's necessary to capture the base. Both the Gatling cannon and the shock trooper have to be gone, and this guy's behind cover, so we're going to hit them both with the grenade, and then we're going to position ourselves next to the flag, kill this shock trooper, capture the base, and then we're done with that first scout. Second scout, same path, except we're going to head this direction, kill this shock trooper, get about here, and this guy's goal is only to take out the ace. So second turn, move over here, use our Rand Greaser to knock him out of cover. Third turn, kill him, and then back out just outside of the blast zones. This is all an artillery zone, so after our turn ends, anyone in here is going to take damage from mortars, so you don't want them to be stuck in this no man's zone. Third turn, going to use our other scout. They'll get about the same distance as the second one. Then we're going to use them to climb this ladder, shoot a Rand Greaser to knock this shock trooper out of cover, and then use our final move to kill this shock trooper, capture this base, and take cover. For this mission, I'm utilizing something I haven't brought up before, and that is ending your turn within an occupied base. This adds a healing boost between turns, so if you take a bunch of damage doing this, it's alright, because we'll get a much bigger healing boost than normal once it's our turn again, because of the bases we've captured. The enemy doesn't really do much this turn. None of these troops are here yet. They also don't show up until we capture this base. A couple shock troopers might run around a little bit, but usually not much happens. So next turn we're going to start with the scout that's over here, and we're going to head this way, kill this enemy who's a leader. This is just to eliminate command points for the enemy on their second turn, mostly, as he's not really going to do anything. And then we're going to position them here, end their turn early. Second turn, take out this shock trooper and not even move. We're trying to hide from these two. And then once we've done those 2 moves in their turn, use this scout, take this ladder, and we're headed for this tower that's right here. We're going to Rand Greaser these 2 shock troopers to knock them out of cover. Once they're out of cover, we'll take position by this sandbag so that they're both pointed this direction. And then for our last two moves for this portion, run this scout in, kill one of them, position by the flag, kill the second, capture the base, and this starts the second portion of the mission where, as I mentioned earlier, the tank shows up and Valkyria shows up. Now we're not quite done at this point. Now that Welkin's shown up here, there's a cannon tower that's pointed right at his radiator. So before we end our turn, we either need to use the Edelweiss to take it out, or the easiest way that I'm going to show you is this last scout we left here. We're just going to use one turn to move him up this ladder, shoot the fuel cell that's behind the cannon tower, destroying it, and then just park him in this base, just because at that point we're completely done with the third one. Before we end our second turn, we need to do one thing, which is to recruit a shock trooper. So we're going to call for reinforcements at the second base before ending our turn. At this point we should have about 3 command points left over. We don't need them all for the final mission. You really only need about 6 total, but just in case something goes completely wrong, you have a couple saved up just in case. So once we end our turn, Valkyria is going to move. There's some enemy tank here that she's going to destroy. This scout, if he hasn't tried to capture the base and gotten killed by Rosie, he'll maybe throw a grenade at the Shamrock, and that's really about all the enemy's going to do. Sometimes this tank will turn and take a shot at the Edelweiss, but the angle's wrong that it can't hit him in the radiator, so there's no real danger there. So for our third turn, all we're going to use is the shock trooper. To start off, we're going to issue 2 orders, the defense boost and the damage boost, and then once they're boosted, their path's basically going to be this, and you'll get about here, take out this shock trooper, and then you have to kill this scout, shock trooper, and tank in order to occupy the base. So you're going to use your next few turns just to make that happen and then capture the flag. So overall that should be, I believe, 7 moves. Once you occupy the base, Valkyria retreats and the mission's ended at that point. So let's jump right now to the actual mission. Alright, here's the actual mission. Start by selecting Alicia.
Moving out.
And proceed down this trench.
Make sure to stay cautious. Enemy sighted.
Run forward as soon as the scout's out of shots, before he can get another one off. Take him out.
Don't even think of dodging.
Penetrating enemy lines.
Good. That makes things a bit easier.
And once you're around this hole, aim for the end of this fence line.
Lost.
Select Alicia
turn,
again.
okay?
It's a miss.
And
Fall back now.
inch around this
Enemy
wall.
sighted.
Take out this shock trooper.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
And position yourself in this archway,
Now's your chance.
kind of close to the box. You want to have sight of that fuel cell and the shock trooper. And end your turn a little early. Select
My
her
turn,
again.
okay?
Switch to your Randgreaser. And aim a bit behind the shock trooper and in between the shock trooper and the fuel cell. And as soon as you can move, run forward. Cut to the left so that shock trooper doesn't shoot at you.
Enemy unit spotted.
And take cover.
Their numbers are... It's unlike anything thus far. Enemy unit spotted.
Position yourself near the flag.
My turn, okay?
Occupy the base. Guess you could have done that last time, but I was being shot at.
Damn it, they took the camp.
And then use your turn to take out the shock trooper.
Good. That makes things a
And
bit
take
easier.
cover by these sandbags and point in this general direction. And for this turn, we are done with Alicia. Next, select one of your other scouts.
I'm ready to go.
Go down the same trench.
All units, prepare to intercept.
Head for the hole that scout was in. And once you get to this point, take out the shock trooper.
Shall we dance? Next partner.
Who are these guys?
And proceed to the shock trooper's location. Select him again.
I'm ready to go. Enemy sighted.
Switch to your Randgreaser. And you're going to knock the enemy ace out of cover. And end your turn. Select him
Watch
again.
me dance.
And finish off the ace.
Next partner.
Good work. Keep it up.
And then you want her out of that mortar range, which is about where that box is. Stick to the left in case that shock trooper
Their
moves.
numbers are...
You'll hit him. And finally, select your third scout.
No problem, boss.
And go the same path as the second
Have
scout.
you got visual on the target?
This time we're going to go around the hole.
We're just getting warmed up.
Don't you die on me.
Select him again.
Right, here I go.
And we're going to ignore the shock trooper to the right and head straight for the ladder.
Man, I'm gonna sleep for a week.
Take
when
cover
this
by
is
this
over.
sandbag. Switch to your Randgreaser. And knock this shock trooper out of cover.
Bang, bang, baby.
And end your turn. Final move, select him
problem,
again. Take out the enemy shock trooper.
Over. Perfect.
Who are these guys?
And capture the enemy base.
Damn it, they're pushing us back.
And
I
then
see
take
one.
cover behind this sandbag. But stay within the confines of the base. I did this with Alicia as well, because you get a healing boost if you're inside the base after the enemy's turn. This is just to get them to full health for their second turn. And then end your turn, and the enemy will just bumble around a bit. Alright, all the enemy did was this shock trooper ran over here somewhere. So to begin, we're going to select Alicia.
Moving out. Enemy sighted. Can't beat the smell of fresh soil.
Cut to the
Quick,
left.
dive into that
Enemy
tank.
unit spotted.
Take out this leader on the right.
Please hit.
This is mostly just to give the enemy less movement on their turn to save time.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
And then take shelter by this wall.
We've never faced numbers like this before.
You don't want to get around it. If you hit F1 and look
Enemy
around the
unit
corner,
spotted.
you'll see there's two enemy shock troopers. So Just end your turn.
My turn, okay?
Select Alicia again. And if you're lucky, you'll kill this shock trooper, but all you really want to do is make him turn around. And he won't be able to return fire because you're too far away. I got lucky and he died.
Good work.
But if he doesn't die, it's no big deal. End your turn. Select your scout that captured the other base.
No problem, boss.
Head for this ladder. And our goal is that tower right there.
Try
I see
to
one.
approach the enemy's blind spot.
With the shock trooper out of the way, we don't have to use this scout's turn to kill him. So proceed right up the ladder.
Remember to look at your surroundings.
Climb the tower. Switch to your Rand Greaser. And let's get a better visual. Okay, so what you want to do is aim between these two shock troopers, knocking them both out of cover.
Bang, bang, baby.
Which we accomplished.
Jump into that trench.
And we're just going to position the scout.
You've never faced numbers like this before.
Okay, I'm going to take cover of these sandbags, turn around in my turn. This is just a defensive position for the enemy's next move. Okay, with the shock troopers focused on that scout, select Alicia and take out the one on the right.
Enemy unit neutralized.
And then run right at the flag. And as soon as you're standing next to it, end your turn. You can't occupy it yet.
My turn, okay?
Select her again. Take out the other shock trooper.
Man down.
Occupy the base. And at this point, Welkin will show up, and so will Salvaria.
Damn it, they're pushing us back.
And with Salvaria showing up, this gate opens, allowing us access to the final part of the mission. And it doesn't really matter what you do with Alicia at this point, because we're done with her. If you're inside the base, she'll heal if she got hurt. Next, you want to request a shock trooper. I like Lynn, so I'm going to use Lynn. And for our final move, because Welkin ended up here, he's right in line with this cannon bunker, which will shoot him in the radiator if we leave him there, or leave the bunker standing. So now, select your scout that we left over on this side. Climb the ladder. Shoot the fuel cell.
Man down. Everybody be careful.
And just because going to put her in a defensive position at this base. She also might be a target for this enemy tank over here, who will probably shoot at your Edelweiss, but not going to do enough damage to actually kill him. At this point, you can end your turn if you're worried because one of your units is low health. Now that Welkin's shown up, you can issue the order all units defend if you'd like, but it's probably not necessary. But we don't need all of the extra movement for the last turn, so feel free to do so if you want. If you don't want to, end your turn and let the enemy move about a bit. Alright, on the enemy's turn, Salvaria moved a little bit and killed a galleon tank that was sitting here. It's part of the story. This scout shot a grenade at my Shamrock, damaging the treads. And this enemy tank just took a shot at the Edelweiss, damaging it a bit. Didn't move, so at the moment it's aimed at the right. So, for this next part, we're going to issue the order damage boost on our shock trooper. And just to be sure nothing goes wrong, also going to issue defense boost on the same shock trooper. With our shock trooper buffed, select
I'll do
them.
my very best.
And proceed up the new path we have available.
Enemy sighted.
Head to the right.
Keep advancing.
New hostile found.
Duck behind this tent. And we're not in view of any of the units at the base, so just take out this shock trooper because you can. No, guess not. Oh well. This is why we use defense boost.
I don't mind a little overtime.
Are you doing all right?
Got lucky and got hard worker.
Awaiting orders.
This is why I like Lynn.
Just keep up.
I'll do my very best.
Alright, select her again. Take cover in these sandbags. And take out the shock trooper.
Awaiting orders.
Who are these guys?
Taking action now.
Select her again. Destroy the enemy tank.
I'll shoot. Awaiting orders.
Nice work.
End your turn.
I'll do my very best.
Take out the scout.
Here goes. Awaiting orders.
Enemy
And with
unit
those 3 units
neutralized.
out of the way, occupy the base. And mission accomplished. By defeating the mission in 3 turns, we earn an A ranking and get a bit of a bonus for killing a couple leaders and the tank along the way for a decent chunk of experience and ducats. We also acquire a new scout weapon as well, and probably some royal weapons from the princess. As you can see on that final turn, you've got like 6 command points left over, so I mean, if you want to do attack boost or evade boost or whatever, you can, but it's really not necessary. You could also request 2 shock troopers or a shock trooper and a lancer, and you have plenty of movement to end this in 3 turns, so keep that in mind. And that is how you beat Chapter 13, the Sultan Naggiar, or something like that. Showdown at Naggiar.